if I say I love you versus I love you,
I'm not even heartbroken right now, and I was like in my feels.
you 10,000 hours at anything, you can be good. So
I don't know. I've been singing in the shower at least 10,000 hours. That did not sound like that.
if you can make love or cry to it, then that's what my music will always be.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Spout podcast. I am your host, Tamara Dia, coming at you from Portland, Oregon, and I'm sitting beside singing sensation. Are you okay with that intro?
I love that.
The singing sensation, Teddy Swims. How you feeling today?
Oh, great, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah, dude. I was actually just telling you that I discovered you through TikTok. So like the millions of people that kind of scroll aimlessly through TikTok, your song Lose Control, it was like a little small snippet of it. And, I work in music. So like anytime a song stops me like that, it's like an immediate like, who is this? So I went down the Teddy Swims rabbit hole. So I'm very excited to be here today and to talk to you, about your journey to where you are now, your album release and everything. And I actually just got to see you perform a little bit for all of us in the audience. And it's always nice to hear a voice that sounds even better in person than it does on the record, which is saying a lot because the record sounds so amazing. So how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm just fortunate I get to do this. I get to do this with my best buds, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
Living the dream, right?
Yeah.
Alongside your best friends.
It's the coolest thing ever. It really is, and I'm grateful that it's working the way it's working. And you get to take trauma and turn it into positive things, and it helps people, and it's just. I couldn't be happier, really. I feel like God's favorite kid,
Oh, I love that. God's favorite kid.
That's me.
Well, we are in Portland today because we are on the Portland stop of your tour. So how is this tour different than your other tours?
We are definitely, it's a lot more things like this, we're doing a whole lot more press, and we're playing these big rooms, and and now to have this album out, it's really nice to know we have things that we can play, and people are really responding, and we're seeing what's really working, and I always think like, it's always like halfway point into the door where you like really finally get into the flow of how the show moves and how people respond and how to, I guess, I don't want to say manipulate the environment, and so I think we're really into a groove, and this has just been really life changing, and the amount of radio press and things I'm getting to do, and seeing the songs like actually working and growing, and it's happening fast, and so what a whirlwind.
Lose Control obviously is taking off like a
Yeah,
rocket.
crazy,
It's already hit
man.
the charts.
It's so crazy to me.
Has it been like probably pretty cool to see and hear all these people singing your lyrics back to you?
Yeah, it's the best, man. And and we do like meet and greets every show, like about 100 people, and they all come, and I get to speak to them and hear stories about how your music is affecting them, or this song did this for them, and they got married to this song or something. And it's always so funny to me because by the time you write songs and you put them out, and you've probably done videos for them, and you probably rehearsed them, and you play them a million times, and it's so funny to me that the song that you're probably kind of already sick of in your mind is if you get to do the best case scenario for like what our career is that like hopefully we write a song that we play for the next 30 years that we're already sick of playing, and I think it's hilarious that way. But it's cool when you see people singing it because it's like now it's attached to their memories and their relationships and their whatever they went through when they heard it, and that's it's cool because it's no longer about my little drama with my ex-girlfriend anymore, you know what I mean? So it's actually taking legs.
You, it probably still is.
Yeah. So it's taking some legs, and it's really thrilling.
Well, this album is your debut album. I tried Everything But Therapy Part 1. I feel like the title is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna need you to explain it.
Yeah, well, for me, I just hope that because I'm just now getting to a place where I'm being very super honest and vulnerable about where I stand, and I try to be on the side of mental health and knowing I love that this generation is really starting to discuss openly mental health and like really start considering it, because I feel like in generations past there's some generational like I guess mindset of not wanting to go, stigma, that not wanting to go to therapy, or that it's for crazy people, or it doesn't help. And I think it would generally help everyone in any way, and so I hope that this album for me was like, finally taking the step towards it, and I hope maybe somebody just can get the same. Maybe it'll inspire somebody else to take the step that they need to do and ask for the help that they need as well. And, and just start worrying about it. And I feel like I'm, I'm talking about a lot of things on my record and being very honest. It feels good to create that safe place for myself and for other people to come in and, just be safe and vulnerable and open.
Mhm. No, I mean, it's a special record, and obviously it's about heartbreak,
Yeah,
which
totally.
I mean, the first song on the album, you're like, "Oh, okay, we're going there." And I'm not even heartbroken right now, and I was like in my feels, but it is. I mean, that's the beauty of music, right? And even your voice, like it genuinely like touches you in such a crazy way, which is why earlier when I heard you say, during the performance that you just did, that you didn't have this voice when you were younger, and that you're self-taught. How do you teach yourself
Yeah,
that
well,
voice?
I mean, I'm very lucky and fortunate to grow up on the YouTube generation, and where I could just really like go and search for music and search for live videos of singers and see how they've done things and what they're doing with their voice and how they're breathing and how they're emoting certain feelings and I mean I definitely had like a good course and theater teacher coming up in high school and I could always just go and be like, what are they doing with this, how is this happening, what is, and I had a lot of people holding my hand along the way. But so I'm very very fortunate that I get to, and I think theater for me was such a big thing because I always feel like acting is or singing is 80% acting, and 20 minutes, and not that I'm like pretending or anything, but it's just like you got to mean what you say, and you got to really really
Emote.
convince and emote people that what they should also be taking away from what you're putting out there. You can't, people can take things that you say and it's like I always say it's like this, if I say I love you versus I love you, it's a whole different thing, and you got to really just mean what you say. And I think I hope that I'm glad it comes across as that for people that listen.
Oh yeah, no, it comes across as like a God-given talent, not like I sat in front of YouTube and learned how to sing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I won't say that. I won't say that like the gift. Like, I mean, like people will say you're gifted, and I won't take away from the gift, but I think the gift itself is always like, it's always like the burden or the urgency to want to be, and I think that's the gift, is that I wanted this so badly and I wanted to learn how to be better and I wanted to be the best that I could be at this, and I wanted to mean what I said, and so I definitely came a long way. Like you can still find, I say this all the time, and it's my first band ever when I was a senior in high school. We have an EP. It's a little metalcore band, and we have an EP still on. It's Heroic Bear, and you can still find our EP on YouTube, and you can hear for yourself how bad it was. It was not good at all, man. But we, you grow and you get better, and you 10,000 hours at anything, you can be good. So
I don't know. I've been singing in the shower at least 10,000 hours. That did not sound like that. So I'll have to take your word for that one. Obviously you said you grew up on YouTube, and you first kind of gained recognition through YouTube because you put your cover songs of Michael Jackson, Rock With You, and Shania Twain's.
Yeah.
So when you were putting those covers out, was it kind of a moment of like, oh, these are hitting, like I'm going to keep doing this?
Well, yeah, because we started out with that, June 25th of 2019. It was 10 years since Michael had passed, and so we wanted to do Rock With You just for the sake of like, I wanted to just pay some homage. And we woke up, a couple of days later, and was like, whoa, this thing is going crazy. So, so we just started shift gears and was like, we should just keep on doing some covers. And I started doing the songs that I wanted to do, and, and songs that I grew up on, and songs that meant a lot to me. And they just kept on. I think the first one we really started getting something taken off was this I Can't Make You Love Me cover was really going, on YouTube. Yeah. And God, I love that song. One of the best songs ever written, like the best song ever written probably. And then, Shania Twain, and that's still the one cover just took off, and I just dedicated it to my mom, like on the first video, and it's just like, hey, I love mom, and still every day we play that song. I'm like, is anybody here with their mom? Like, anybody a mom, man, just, you got a mom, you better tell her every day how much you love her, and I miss my mom all the time doing this. So I just always still dedicate it to my mother and just like, man, I love you, mommy. So she's my best, dude. She's the best. She's the best lady ever. Yeah, man. She's so proud. She comes to some of them shows, and she'll like, stand up there and might be on the balcony, and I'll point at her, and she just like,
Yeah, like the queen.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's just got the whole. Yeah, she's eating it up,
I
man.
love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she's a baddie, man. I love her.
That's great. I love that. Because you kind of got your recognition through YouTube, and you did it through covers, but now you're creating original material. Is cover something that you've kind of put behind you, or is that
Yeah,
something?
I mean, we still play some of them live, and I always, and sometimes on a TikTok or something, we'll still reference some things or play some things, and I mean, I wouldn't say that I would never do one again, but I think if I did do one again, it might be like I've always thought about maybe figuring out the perfect cover for something you could drop on the album with something, some of your own
Yeah.
stuff too. But as far as being a cover artist, I don't believe that I will go back to like YouTube, and covers again. But it definitely was a most awesome way to get heard and also figure out my sound of what I wanted to sound and what I wanted make my music like, and I think it's a great avenue. But some people can get stuck there as well. But some of the greatest of all time have been cover bands. The Beatles themselves were just a cover band, So
Crazy.
and look at not that I'm the Beatles or anything, but
Hey,
look
you
at
never know.
I definitely won't be that, but yeah, hope to be as influential to somebody as they were to me.
Would you give that advice to artists trying to break through, is to start with covers?
Yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't say to do that. I would just say to just put yourself out there because, it's what's so great about this generation is it's an even playing field for anybody to get out there, no matter what it is, even if it's music or what you have an avenue that you can just drop things on and talk your talk, and somebody's going to respond. There's an audience for everybody,
Yeah.
for anything, and that could be a good thing, and it could also be a bad thing. You could also be just an awful person, and there's somebody that's going to agree with you, and there's a community that's going to happen around it. So like that could be bad too. But I mean, I think in the right thing, it's just figure out what you want to say and say it with your chest.
Use your powers for good.
Yeah, exactly. Just say it with your chest.
Yeah. Well, you've been saying it with your chest on TikTok,
You
which
got
is, like
to.
I said before, like how I found you. And then your track Lose Yourself. It's like Eminem up here. Lose Control. Lose Control, obviously has been like such a huge track for you. I love that you on TikTok invited people to duet it and kind of do an open verse. And I saw some incredible people coming through with like the Nicotine Dolls.
Yeah, it's cool,
And,
man.
like, I mean, what does that feel like for you as an artist
Well,
to have other people jumping on your track like that?
I think it's so cool, man, because I think I know what the song is about for me, right? And I know what it means for me, and I think it's so not to say like in a blasphemous way what I'm about to say, but I think it's so crazy because music is like scripture in that way, where somebody can come up on stage and preach this particular Bible verse, and give a whole sermon about that, what that means, and then somebody else can take the same exact verse and preach a whole nother sermon that means something completely different from it, and that's what I love about music. For me, it's what they take from it, what their feelings they get from those words, and what they think that means to them. And so I think the duet thing is so cool because people are really starting to, take what they want from the song or what that song meant to them and how it hit them, and just kind of give their side of the story, and it's cool to see a bunch of different sides of the story for something that was just so selfishly mine,
Yeah. I mean, it's selfishly ours now because I
Yeah,
feel like we've all kind of
exactly.
taken it and we're like, it's just a banging track. So there's no way around that. One of the things that is funny to me is that I heard Teddy Swims can't swim. Is that true?
I'm not gonna drown,
Yeah.
but I can stay afloat,
Okay.
for a while. But I usually, I definitely am like terrified of water. I'm not a water guy by any means. I'm like
No.
a heights guy or a close spaces guy or I just, this right here, like I'm so in control of,
Yeah.
being on the ground and moving my body freely. I think like if I could just stay like this is it.
It's an
Yeah.
ironic moniker.
This is where, it is very ironic, but yeah, Teddy does not swims. No.
Teddy does not swims. That could be your
Yeah.
alter ego. Well, swims is actually an acronym, right?
It sure is. Someone who isn't me sometimes.
And what does that mean?
Well, see, it started out as like a hip hop project. I was just gonna go by Swims, and I think it's like so I could play this kind of character in a way at first, but now like I think what's cool about it is that I if this makes sense, I feel like the older I get, the further I get from who I thought I was, and like the things that were important to me now, or not the things that I told myself would be important to me in 5 years, and the things that I thought I would get from this, and I mean, I love where I'm at, and I'm learning like who I am, but it changes every day, and I think there's some things I've really taken from the name that have made me like, oh man, I guess life imitates art, so
Growth,
baby. Yeah,
it's
that's
a
it.
beautiful thing, right?
It sure
Growth
is,
and
man.
healing through this
Yeah,
album,
it is
right?
really great to heal. Yeah, it feels great to heal and be healed and do that for people too.
No, I feel like it's healing for a lot of people as well.
I got to get this posture thing figured out.
I know we were talking about this earlier. I was like, I need to stick your chest out.
Yeah.
Shoulders back, chest out.
You know what? Tits up.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about earlier about how, you're kind of like learning your voice, but I feel like you were also learning your musical style because you did kind of bounce around between genres, right? Like you talked about earlier how you were doing like metal and then you dabbled into hip hop and rock and country. I mean, now it feels very much soul. So do you think all of those things kind of brought you to the sound that you have now?
Yeah, totally. And I think it's ever changing and ever growing. And, we've written songs and songs that'll come out with in all those avenues. I think the thing is that emotion is like the first thing that you can do. I always say that like, intention rarely creates emotion as much as emotion creates emotion, and so I try to navigate those areas as well as I can, because I think some certain types of music maybe emote this feeling better than other ones, and like, so if I just want to if I can just get out of the way of the song and of what I want the song to sound like and be like, and just the emotion of it is really the most important thing. And I'll probably call everything would be soul in a way, because I think I always say if you can make love or cry to it, then that's what I think there's only two feelings. We're either making love or crying about losing it, and that's that's what my music will always be. So
hopefully it's more of the first part.
Yeah, I like that part better for sure.
Yeah, exactly. The more fun part for sure. How did you link up with Meghan Trainor?
So weirdly enough, Meghan Trainor, when I first released like one of my first songs with Warner Broke, she had reached out to me on Twitter forever ago. It was like 4 years ago or something. It was like, "Whoa, the song's amazing," blah blah blah, and I was like freaking out, Meghan Trainor. And well, I guess she had been thinking about me and listened to me for a long time, and she had wrote this song, "Bad for Me" with Rabel and this guy Stint, and she went to bed and played it for Daryl and her husband, and he was like, "Yo, I think this is the one that you need Teddy Swims on. This is the Teddy Swims song." So, and she actually coincidentally found me because her dad found me first. Right?
Oh,
so
cool.
Her family's the sweetest people in the world. So, she reached out to me and. Through Rabel reached out to me and was like, "Would you want to come do the song with Meghan?" I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I sure would love to." So I went over to her house, and she's such a genius, man. She like engineered herself everything that she does, and her brother engineered me, and we kind of got the harmonies and everything together. It was really cute, just sitting by the mic together and doing it the real old school way. And it was and it's like you go to her house and there's somebody in every room. The family's just, "Oh, what can we get you? What can we do?" It's just
That's
like
dope. It's really a family
it's just
affair.
hospitality all the time. Her mom is like, "Dad, go everywhere." Her husband with her kids, everybody just goes everywhere with her, and she's just, and for somebody like me who's doing the same thing with my friends and family, it's great to know that you can do this the right way and you can scale it up to that level and still just be with your family and protect that at all costs. And I think that is like why it's working the way it's working for her, because she's just, a good person,
Yeah, that's dope. It's almost like a learning lesson even for you.
She's so healing too, man. She's been such a champion about like, you gotta like deal with these feelings, man. You gotta get into therapy, It was like really her that really got me like, and yeah, she's just such a healing bubble all the time. Just like, what can I do to make this easier on you, And
that sounds like good energy to be around.
She's the best person ever, dude.
Well, I mean, I've tried everything but therapy, so I have to ask.
Yeah,
have you tried it?
Yeah, not yet, not quite yet. I've gotten in touch with a few people, and finding that person and that thing is really important. But I mean, we're on the road right now, and so it's having to find time to like try to Zoom somebody for an hour, 30 minutes or something. And I'm getting there though. I really am, and it's a process, I reckon. So
it is.
But I definitely am. I'm going to do it.
Well, the album also is a part 1, so is it safe to say there's gonna be a part 2?
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that part 2 is gonna be, more of a answer, like instead of so many questions. I think
Mhm.
I'm hoping it's gonna be more of love and
Mhm.
and happiness and relief
Mm.
than just like,
Yeah.
ooh, but I hope it's not another
Yeah.
heartbreak
Yeah,
record. But
yeah. Well,
I
hopefully it's
hope
like a love
I just
album,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's what I want out of part 2 for sure. But we'll see. We'll see if maybe some special person will walk in my life and I'm like, yes, perfect timing. But you never
The
know.
heart start fluttering out
Or
of your
maybe
eyes.
maybe they step on me again. We'll see.
Let's hope not. Although it did make a pretty great album.
It
So,
sure did.
well, thank you so much, Teddy. It was
Thank
so nice to
you.
meet
Yeah, my
you.
pleasure.
And good luck tonight. I know you have a show coming up, so go kill it. I know you will.
Yeah, we had to write the sound check, baby. So
Let's go from the interview to the sound check. We'd love
you
to see
know
it.
it, baby.
All right, thanks, guys. We will see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye.